Welcome back to the final whistle then for the championship predictions. Week 6, there were some interesting results in week 5. Ipswich absolutely giving a Sheffield United a tonking. A manager has left and a new manager has come in at Sheffield United. Well, we say new, but Chris Wilder has gone back there again. So sorry about that. Sorry to spoil the party. But yeah, quite a lot of draws in week 5. We're going to chat with the boys about everything. Hopefully my bloody internet steps up this time and makes no problems. But yeah, a lot to discuss. And of course, get your predictions in when we do get to week 6. Yeah, Emily, how are we? Max, how are we, mate? 3 a.m. in Melbourne at work. Looking forward to the weekend now. That's my tractor boys are back in town. How are they? Rudy, how are we? Dan, how are we? Dawn, hello. Right, should we get the boys in? The Three Horsemen is what they call us. Well, should we just call us the free football fans? Rich, Steve, here we go. Boys, hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I've got a question for both of you.
Go on.
Have you downloaded the Teletext app?
No, but I saw it online earlier and I was like, oh, I'm going to get on that.
Oh, get it on, boys. It's like going back to the 90s. You're a bit too young, Jack.
I'm a bit too young, but I do remember Teletext.
That's really sad, that you're too young for Teletext. We're so old, Rich. We're so old.
Exactly.
Steve, we're not bloody that older than me, you know. I think you're about 7 years.
I'm 35. You're 27. That's quite a long time.
Wow, I'm miles older than both of you. Crikey. I'm not revealing my age, by the way.
When people talk about bloody teletext, I sort of get put off the idea when people mention teletext strikers and all that regarding Leicester City, and I just think, nah, I'm not talking about that again. Wycombe fans always bring it up when we talk with Leicester and that, and yeah, Colin says teletext was brilliant. All baby still. Club mate, you're in your 50s. You know,
well, it was
you're older than all of them.
With BBC, and then it was CFAX, wasn't it, for ITV?
CFAX on ITV. You could get teletext holidays as well, Jack.
Oh, lovely. Next Austin destination, Rich. You know, we can get out. CFAX, yeah. You see what I mean? Everyone seems to be very older-headed in this chat.
There you go. Look, teletext holidays. Dawn
Jack,
knows.
when you were younger, did you have dial-up internet, or was it straight to broadband for you?
Broadband.
Oh, see, that makes me feel even older.
Jesus Christ!
You don't understand about somebody picking up the phone when you're downloading something on the internet, so it gets interrupted and cancelled.
I think our first sort of internet were like BT and that. So obviously we had a house phone back then and everything like that. We don't have them nowadays because who uses a house phone these days when you got mobile and that? You know,
my mum's still got her house phone.
Still?
Yeah, still there. It's not got the little dial on. You know, you had them ones where you used to dial it, didn't you? It used to come back round.
Right. I have 2 yogurt pots and a piece of string. Lovely. What used to make you happy back in the day, you know, I think kids these days don't really believe what we used to have as kids, the toys and everything like that, and everything else we used to have to keep.
It's funny hearing a 28-year-old saying the kids these days don't understand the toys we had back in the day. My toy was a stick, Jack. That's what mine was.
You look at football back then. You know, it was an all different prospect to what it is now. There were no VAR. There's nothing about it. You know, football were just ruthless challenges and everything like that, and we probably enjoyed football a lot more. It weren't commercial based and bloody business based. It is now, you know what I mean? You sort of, look forward to football without having to worry about bloody computerizing technology sort of going into the game now. So my toy was a cardboard. Way better back then. Still got my arse phone. Dial up horrible, especially when someone picked up the phone to call someone halfway through.
There you go.
Yep.
Who had a chocolate orange for Christmas and not the
love chocolate orange.
You know, there's a caramel one now, which is awful.
No.
There's a mint one as well now, aren't there?
The mint one's okay, and the plain chocolate one's a bit. I mean, if you get a plain chocolate one, you're probably a psychopath, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, the caramel one is not great. It's not great.
Exactly. It's true. It is. You know, everyone just cares about the internet now and mobile phones, and that's how kids roll these days in this sort of terminology of things. So, right, boys, we're here to chat football, not chat about modern technology and how it works. You know, but Rich, how are you anyway?
A lot happier than I was last week.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Well,
and I'm on time. And I'm on time tonight.
You weren't clicking the wrong link this week, was you, Rich? Waiting for us?
I think I'd click the link last week and I just sat there thinking, are we going to start soon? Oh, and then at the studio. Yeah.
How's FIFA, lads? Yes, it's all right, steady. I'll get a few games in at some point after tonight, but yeah. Steve, have you downloaded it yet? Or
Yeah. I've I need to send you a PSN ad, to be honest, but yeah, I downloaded it. I got home from work and jumped straight on, see what it was like. I opened a few packs, and I've got Virgil van Dijk in defence, so I'm doing all right already.
All right for some.
Yeah.
My brother earlier got is it Patelis, who plays for Barcelona women? I think she's worth about 800k. He ended up selling.
Nice.
Yeah, it's lovely. Locks from Blue Tinted Glasses were like, well, I've got your man. And I said, how much you spent on that game? He showed me his team earlier. He said 150 quid. I was thinking, fucking hell,
more than what I spent.
It's crazy, isn't it? Like people, it's a gambling addiction, isn't it? Them types of things, Rich, with the whole game technology these days.
I'm not into that. It's not FIFA though now, is it? It's
not CAFC, whatever.
Well, yeah,
even
the reason being is we were talking about this in Locke's channel yesterday, that it's not FIFA anymore because FIFA wanted $1 billion to have the license, and FC went, it's okay, we don't need it. We don't need it. So,
what was everyone's favourite actual FIFA game?
Oh, I had USA '98.
No,
France '98. France '98. The Road to Paris. I heard on FIFA. I think that was on the. Was it on the Mega Drive? Here we go. I'm nearly giving my age away here now. Did you have you didn't have a Mega Drive, did you, Jack?
No, I was afraid not.
Yeah, road to FIFA World Cup '98. Road to the World Cup was my first, but I would say FIFA 2003 was my favourite because of the weird way you could like change the ball with free kicks. You could put like the ball down in the bottom left and stuff.
Yeah, I remember 3 and 4. Played them both.
You're only 7.
FIFA Street were good. Hey, I still remember playing these things, you know, it don't matter. You know, someone was on about it to me yesterday. I said, do you remember your first FIFAs? And I said, yeah, played them. You know, we talked about the music that were on them FIFAs and all. And obviously someone said, I've still got a bloody PS2 and a PS1. I was thinking, but yeah, the Nintendo 64 were out when you was playing Mario on it and that. So, hey, we had a good life. We have had a good upbringing, really.
Right, do you want the scores from last week?
Yeah, we do want the scores this week. Sorry, we've got carried away.
Okay, right. So, 2 of us drew a blank this week. Rich was 1 with 0, and I was the other with 0. Jack, you got 1 last week. You got the Bristol City result correct.
Come on.
So,
it's about time we made movements in that position instead of holding you 2 up.
Well, to be fair, Jack, you were the first one to not get any points the week before, so you know we had to make sure that you weren't left behind. So the scores
what's it looking like?
Is Jack, you're on 4, I'm on 5, and Rich, you're still in the lead with 7.
I need
I'm happy with that.
I need 3 results.
Oh, long way back for you, Jack.
It is a long way back. Hey, it's not about how you start, Richard. It's how you finish, man.
You want them double weeks where we've got the Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday. That's when you're gonna come into your own, maybe.
when you play 3 times a week.
What are we going to do then? Are we going to do like a Monday prediction show?
We'd have to do the Monday.
Yeah.
Sort of, you know.
Will people want us on twice a week?
Well, it'd be 3 times a week, wouldn't it? Really, you go Thursday to Monday to then Thursday again.
Yeah, I mean,
you might move into my house, guys. Come on, up you come.
It's all right.
I'll make some beds up for you.
Get a patio out. That's good. Colin, always remember Leicester playing City in the 1969 Cup final. Jesus, Young scored for City. Sorry, lads. Hey, it's good to see people remember different things of football and games, and it's good to listen to older people sometimes about how they've supported the club and the first games and all that. And Rich, I bet you go way back, don't you, with Ipswich?
1984.
Yeah,
that was my first game. Watford at home, 0-0. It wasn't a classic. John Barnes was playing for Watford.
John Barnes.
Yeah, John Barnes. Steve Sherwood was in goal. I remember all the players. I don't really remember a lot about the game, if I'm being quite honest. But what was your first game, Jack?
Arsenal 1-1. 99. I went with my dad. 99. 2 years old.
What about Steve?
Mine was the Leicester Spurs, where Izzet scored a stunner, which is the first goal I have. Probably one of the best goals I've ever seen live. He smashed it from outside the box, and I can't remember the result, to be honest, but I know that it was against Spurs. I don't remember. We won 2-1. It was 98. I was 8 years old.
98. Lovely.
Yeah.
Right, boys. Week 5. Ipswich were the big high scorers in week 5. Sheffield United's Ruben Sellers, which we'd call it on the Friday night, Rich. George Hurst even scored the bread and butter.
Did you see the goal, though? It was one of the worst goals, wasn't it? It was a P-roller. Michael Cooper. Cooper, hang your head in shame. Look, I thought for 50 minutes when it was 1-0, I thought it was a pretty sort of even game.
Yeah.
But it was all about the second goal for me, because we were obviously when we played Derby in the previous home game, we were winning 1-0, and you could still feel it in the crowd a little bit. It was a little bit quiet, even though we were winning. As soon as the second goal went in, I mean, the floodgates opened. They sort of, I'd hate to say that a professional that they give up, but it did feel like they knew the writing was on the wall as soon as that second goal went in, and you see the third goal soon after. How that's gone in, I don't know. And look, did we play that well? Not really. I don't think we were outstanding. You could see that, obviously, when we got the second goal, it becomes a little bit easier, because we all know what football's like. It's confidence, isn't it? A lot of it. And you see that with Philogene. I mean, the previous home game against Derby, he didn't really take on his fullback. And I mean, he was unplayable on Friday night. And the 3 goals he got, they just got better and better. And you just got hope now that we've got that sort of first win. We go to Blackburn. You've got to back it up now. You've got to show that this is what we were all about. I'm not saying it's going to be easy going to Ewood Park, but I think you've got to follow that up with a victory. And now I look at the table. Like you said earlier, Jack, there was a lot of draws this weekend. I think we're only 7 points off the top, so I don't think that's a great deal to make up. And I think in a couple of weeks' time, there's a Tuesday night, so that's a 9-point week you could have. So, yeah, look, it was positive, but you've got to back it up on Saturday. Don't go and shit the bed on Saturday at Ewood and don't get a result, because then you've undone all your work that you've just done the previous week.
Yeah. Chris Wilder's gone into Sheffield United now, Steve, again for the 3rd time. It's like these ex-girlfriends, and you always seem to be going back because they give you the pleasure, and that's what Sheffield United must bring to Chris Wilder's life: the pleasure, being a fan and managing.
I like that.
I don't want to think about the Chris Wilder getting his rocks off, Jack. To be honest,
what's your thoughts on Chris Wilder going back?
Well, I'm not surprised because. We said on last week that if Sheffield United got smashed, then we could see Sellers being sacked, and that was the case. I'm not surprised Wilder's gone back because he knows the squad, he knows the club. He's signed it. Is there new to the end of the season? Is that right? The deal or it might be
27.
For a couple of years. look, they clearly made a mistake thinking they're going a different direction, and they need somebody to come in and steady the ship again. And I think he'll do all right. I think they've had a really poor start, which means that they're going to be playing catch up for the rest of the season now. It's quite a lot of points to be behind already, sort of 13 points. So I guess that their aim now is for the playoffs, which was probably their aim at the beginning of the season, to be honest. But yeah, I wasn't sort of keen on bringing Wilder into Leicester when he was linked to us, so I'm glad that he's not come here. I think he suits Sheffield United because he just knows the club inside out. It's a bit like if Nigel Pearson came back to us. He knows the club sort of situation. So I would say good luck to him, but I don't mean it.
Fair enough. Guilty pleasure. No, it's you can't always keep running back to these managers. Remember Leicester, Nigel Pearson had the success the first time. Then we sort of he left for Holding, and then he come back again, and we're thinking, can he sort of reminisce everything that he did before he did? And obviously laid the foundations for what the club obviously became when he did leave the second time. So, yeah, I think he will build that steady ship at Sheffield United, but they're not looking great. Rock bottom at the minute, are they? They're going to have to get their players really fired up for the weekend's game against Charlton. So, yeah, it seems like a little hill to climb for them. Sheffield Wednesday being on top of them at the minute, it doesn't look pretty being a Sheffield United fan looking at that. But yeah, I don't think that'll be the case by the end of the season. Other results, we had Charlton 1, Millwall 1. Millwall leaving it late. Middlesbrough and Preston 2-2 draw. Middlesbrough leaving it late in that one. Oxford Leicester, Steve. 2-2 draw, 10 men Leicester. Talk to me about that one.
Frustrating. We had a game plan. I think we started quite poorly, unfortunately, and then we were sort of growing into the game a bit more, and then Ramsey goes and gets sent off, which, we've already had chats about this already, about it being a red card or not. I think it was, personally. And then you're playing catch-up at that point, aren't you? Especially if you go 2-1 down at half-time. But we came back. They came out second half, and it only really looked like one team was going to win the game in that second half. But for an Oliver Skip hesitation, we could have come away with a win. But look, from a 10 men down, 1 man down, not 10 men. We weren't playing with one player. One man down, and to be 2-1 down at half time to draw the game, I'm quite happy. A point's better than losing. And as we said last week, you just make sure you don't lose the game, and it's a point going towards the total next year, or next season, this season.
Yeah. Fair enough.
It's been a long day.
if you can't win in football, don't lose it. And it is a good point for Leicester. 10 points from our opening 15 points available, which is good. Started the season off pretty well under Marty. And Ricardo's, and Fatal have been Leicester's best players so far, Rich. What did you make, Rich, from Leicester's draw against Oxford? And did you think it was a red card? Could it have been a different decision with a different ref on a different day? Or what would you sort of look at it?
I think we all went for a Leicester win, didn't we, last week? Yeah, look, it's like when we're on here predicting, you never know what's going to happen. Like you say, red card changes the game. Do I think it's a red card? We were chatting before. It's one of them ones, isn't it? Like Steve was saying, whereas in today's game, that probably is a red card. Whereas 5 years ago, probably it's not a red card. He's probably out of control. That's the phrase they use nowadays, isn't it? It always looks worse when they slow it down as well. But he gets one look at it, the ref. He's probably got the right decision there. And I think, like you say, it is important in this league. If you're down to 10 men, obviously you've still got better players, and sometimes it's difficult to play against 10 men. It's not as easy as everyone thinks. You think, you've got a man advantage, but sometimes it doesn't work out like that. So I think it's a good point for you. Are you disappointed that you didn't win? You probably would have, with 11. You're probably going to go there and beat them. I would have thought with 11 men, you would win that game. But it's important that you keep your run going. It's important not to lose. So you go into your big derby on Saturday against Coventry, and you've still got that momentum. And I think that's very important in this league. It's momentum. Just to, You're not going to win every week, but it's important not to get beat. When you're maybe not playing well or you've had a red card or something, take something from the game and then you go into the next game.
Yeah, which is important because I don't think we've actually... we've had a couple of sort of halves where we've played okay, but actually we haven't played well at all this season and we're still sat on 10 points, 3 points off the top. So, it will click into gear at some point, that's for sure. But yeah, you're right. Just, it's a good point at the end of the day. They only had 3 stands, which is very confusing when you go to a football ground and they've got 3 stands. So I understand why the Leicester players got a bit confused.
Yeah, I think that's why Samara were own goal in it. He was sort of looking at the standing thinking, this is a bit unusual. I ain't used to bloody things like this. He's seen the bloody strike at Hollywood Bowl just across the car park and thought that looked good. Oh shit, it's got in.
Did you go to Frankie and Benny's? I just still there.
We're busy though. It was
quite
a busy thing. Obviously, there were a nice sports bar we obviously went up to before the game.
You're all healthy now, though. You're all healthy now, aren't you? I see you with your granola you put on the group the other day. Oh my lord! Honestly, looking good for breakfast.
Nice natural yogurt, fruit.
Yeah, didn't mind a bit of that.
Steve would complain with the chocolate situation, but Steve would say, "Well, I put my dinner up in the other WhatsApp group in the final squad." Steve said, "Where the fuck is the protein in that?" I said,
"Yeah, damn right. You got to have protein, Jack. It's important, It
is, yeah." There we go. Rich, Coventry won, Norwich won. Norwich time wasting according to Coventry. They said from 1-0 onwards.
My boss sent me a great picture of it. It was obviously AI. It's the ref, and there's a couple of Norwich physios, and there's about 7 Norwich players that all laying on the ground. It is part and parcel of the game now. I know we don't like it, but like when Derby came down the other week and we added on 13 minutes, that's the way you've got to. If they're going to be time wasting, you've got to add that time. I still don't like because you never know how much time's going to go up at the end of that game, do you? You'll probably be at a game and sometimes you'll think, there's got to be 7 or 8 minutes and there'll be about 4. And then another time you'll probably think about 4 or 5 and there's 8 or 9 minutes. I have always said, I don't know what you two think, in rugby, the time is taken out the referee's hands and it's up in the stand. I think that should happen in football where the referee's got enough to concentrate on as it is. I think there should be an independent timekeeper. He looks after the time. You get on with doing your refereeing. But look, Coventry nicked a goal there, didn't he, at the end? I mean, Hadji Wright still even tried to miss that. I mean, he stumbled over and just sort of put it in. But I think Coventry, they absolutely battered Norwich, didn't they? But look, there's another one. They've nicked a draw there at the end. They probably thought they should win the game, but they've still taken something out of the game and they're still unbeaten, aren't they?
Yeah, and that'd be the main thing for the Sky Blues. What is it? 3 draws, 2 wins for them so far. Chef Wednesday, Steve, they lost 3-0 to Bristol City. I mean, Bristol City have started off fantastically well, and so have Stoke. Stoke are out the blocks. They beat Birmingham. Birmingham have now had 1 shot on target out of the last 2 league games. Is that a worrying sign for Birmingham, do you think, now that they have sort of come back down to reality in the Championship? Is what they sort of thought going into the season?
Well, yes and no. I think if you speak to some Birmingham fans, they'd probably say that, staying up and maybe getting into playoffs this season would be a good sort of season for them.
Yeah.
I don't think there's many Birmingham fans that think they were going to walk the league, even though online, you hear a lot of it, but, it's quite an echo chamber online, isn't it? You can see half the shit that it doesn't make any sense. But look, they've just had Stanfield back. Did he come back from injury at the weekend? He's got a couple of
absolutely bloody took out by the Stoke bloody centre half. Left him on the floor.
And I actually don't think they've properly got going as of yet. So, we'll see. I think quite a lot of the teams today, if you look at the table now, you'd think, oh, that's weird. Why is Stoke in second, Bristol City in third? You Sheffield United at the bottom. Give it another 5 games, and that could flip on its head. And, but I think Birmingham will be happy with their start. 2 wins, a draw, and 2 defeats. It's not awful. It's not amazing. But they're still getting used to the step up, because the step up from League One to Championship is quite big still. And I know they spent a lot of money last year, so the step up wasn't that big for them. But look, I think they'll be all right. They'll win this weekend.
What do you think of Swansea at the moment? We beat Forest. I mean, hats off to you beating them lot, 2-0 up in the FD up. Fantastic. Hats off to Swansea last night. We were all rooting for you as Leicester fans, My mate, Nottingham Forest fan, I said to him, I'm just checking in on you to see if you're all right after that. He replied and he weren't happy. I was thinking, well, big Ange. Well, it's not really started off well, but Steve, Swansea have started off well, haven't they? But they did concede late against Hull. What was it, 97th minute? John Egan goal?
There seems to be a lot of last-minute sort of goals going in all over the place this season so far.
It was at Derby against West Brom.
Yeah, and it seems to be every sort of game week there seems to be a late winner or a late draw. And look, it's good to see. We all like to go to football and see those sort of moments, don't we?
Yep.
I can't think of a better feeling than a 93rd, 94th minute winner, or I guess in Rich's case, the 114th winner, against Derby. Or draw, I guess. I
weren't really celebrating that hard because it was a draw. Maybe if he had been the winner, we'd gone a little bit. I get what you mean. It is great, isn't it? When you come out of that ground, you're on a massive high, and if you score a late winner.
Yeah, exactly. But Swansea, good win for them against Forest, but I think Forest are in that sort of teething problems with them, with Ange coming in, trying to change up the play slightly. So, but also I don't think that the last goal that Swansea scored against Forest, I've not seen two cleaner strikes of a ball in about 10 seconds in my life. The one that pinged the post and then a slice ball.
It's like Colin says there, Burgess. We had him at ours, boys. Cam Burgess. He scored 2 last night. He's got the first goal, but the shot that hits the post, and for a centre half, Steve, to literally on the volley, catches it literally perfectly, doesn't he? Clean as a whistle.
It looked like he turned around to be like, oh, well, he's missed full time. And then he heard the ping and he went, oh, shit, hang on. and put it in. Yeah, it was a great goal.
Wrexham, Rich. 3-1 defeat.
Connor Cody, is he towing a caravan? Oh, my God.
70 grand a week. 2 million spent on him.
That third goal, I watched that back today.
But Richie Kone's on fire at the minute with
turn him in and out. It was great.
QPR, he's absolutely having Connor Cody on toast in that game quite a few times.
But I see today one of the Wrexham board members, I think he'd been on a podcast, and there was a little bit of talk over, I think it was on Sunday, I see it online, about Parkinson under pressure and the Americans.
Oliver Skip, 25 years old. Steve said,
unbelievable.
28, mate. Unbelievable.
Look at that.
14,000 people like that tweet.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Oh, yeah, he gave a birthday stream to celebrate his birthday, Steve. Where's that cake?
Oh, I ate it.
Go on, Rich. Carry on.
I see that on Sunday there was a little bit of talk about Parkinson under pressure, and one of their board members has come out today and he's basically squashed it on the head. But I still think he's under pressure, You can come out and say that all you want. When you've spent, 30-odd million they've spent, they're leaking goals like a sieve, aren't they, at the minute?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're gonna score some going forward, but unless they sort out defensively, I think it's going to be... What would Wrexham's ambitions be anyway? For me, a steady season mid-table, I think it'd be decent. I think get your feet under the table. Don't try and run before you can walk in the division. I know they've had it pretty their own way the last 3 seasons, haven't they? Really. But yeah, they play Norwich on Saturday at Carrow Road, which is going to be an interesting game because Norwich haven't won, I think, at home all season, and Wrexham seem a little bit better away from home. But I still think Parkinson won't make the end of the season. I can't see it.
Yeah, I don't think he will either. I think give it Christmas, that busy Christmas period. If they're still down sort of 20th, 19th, 18th, I think he'll go.
And they'll look for a bigger name as well, Steve. Now the next manager they go for, their profile's been lifted now, and a lot of it is through what Parkinson's done.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of managers, they'll have a ceiling where they get to, and I think League One, I think Phil Parkinson's, he's good at that level. Don't see him as a Championship manager. I said it before, and I'll stick to my guns on that one.
Steve, Andrew says, early on in the season, so teams haven't fully gelled yet, so not bothered about the draw. However, next time we play Oxford, there's no excuses. We should have full chemistry. I think he's talking about Leicester.
Well, you'd like to think so. And also, if they, when we play them next, we'll have 4 stands on the stadium, so it won't be confusing for the players because it'll be at home. So, but yeah, you'd like to think so. I mean, Marty's not had a full preseason
Nigel
squad, so it makes sense that the players are finally getting, what he wants and how to play. So yeah, and also a lot like with Ipswich and ourselves and other teams in the league, the transfer window only closed 16, 17 days ago, so they've not had long to work with their squads because of the international break as well. So yeah, give it a month, and I think most teams that were sort of hitting towards the top of the table will probably be around that point anyway.
Yeah. I think Nigel's a Norwich fan, by the way, Rich. He says, top man Rich knows his football and huge respect to him from north of the Suffolk.
He says he'd take a draw on Derby Day.
Derby.
Look, we've not beaten them. We've not beaten them for 16 years. We got a few games before them, but it's coming around rather rapidly. But you've got your big derby this weekend first before us.
The worry for the championship is that Ipswich FC are gelling quicker than expected. Are they?
Not really. They're not gelling yet. They're not gelling yet. Let's see how we are in about 3 games' time. If we've got some decent results off the back of Sheffield United, I think we'll be in good shape heading into Norwich.
Richie, you're slightly worried about McKenna though. With obviously it's been reported with I think a few sources have gone about him at West Ham.
No, that was the media guy Marcus Nash squashed that on his Instagram straight away. It was Football Insider. He was at the game. I think he took his son to the game to watch it. I think he was in the director's box. Do I see West Ham appointing Kieran McKenna after? Look, I think if West Ham lose at the weekend I think they're playing Palace. Yeah. I think Potter's on his way. Would anybody really want to go to that soulless bowl of a stadium to be a manager? Look, I don't know if you've been to Upton Park, boys. I love going to Upton Park. It was a great stadium. Look, I know the reason they've gone there. It's obvious they're getting it. I think they pay about $2 million a year for that. They can make more revenue. As a football stadium, the Olympic Stadium, it's not a great experience. And that was as an away supporter. I went there last season. I thought it's absolutely terrible. Couldn't stand it. Getting away as well, getting back to Stratford, absolute nightmare. And if you're a West Ham fan, you're like dyed in the wool West Ham fan, and you've been going to Upton Park for years, and then they give you that stadium. Well, you can. It's a tough sell, and it's tough for a manager, I think, coming in there. But Potter's not doing very well, is he? Really, since the Brighton days. So I don't see McKenna. I don't see them going for McKenna next. I see today Slaven Bilic, Jack. They reckon they might go for him.
Okay, now that's a goal back, isn't it? Jesus Christ.
That kind of shows how far they've fallen in modern football at this minute in time. That you have to revert. We might as well bloody bring Nigel Pearson back again, like Sheffield United have a Wilder.
The only thing
in these calls.
Yeah, the only thing with McKenna is that I think if Amarim was to leave United and Glasner was to go to United from Palace, I think you'd be more worried about Palace coming in for him than you would be for West Ham. That's for sure. They give the manager time, and I think he'd build on top of what Glasner has done.
It'd be a better fit, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, I think if you look at the Premier League, there's not many clubs that I think McKenna would fit at, but Palace and possibly Bournemouth, but I think Bournemouth, unfortunately for them, their stadium's too small. You can't really progress as a Bournemouth side, without expanding the stadium and making it bigger. So
I think they've got plans, haven't they, Steve, for that?
Yeah, they have.
For their new stadium. That's a few years down the line.
Yeah, but Palace, I think that would be where I'd be. If Glasner was to leave, I think Palace would be right up there for McKenna.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Right, should we get into week 6 then of the championship predictions? Who's going to come out on top this week is going to be the main thing. Like Richie's got 7 points, Steve's got 5, and I've got 4. So I'm sitting pretty at the bottom and holding them bloody pair up. So I've got to do some. I've got to do some digging this week to find a way forward in this prediction. So hopefully I don't fall too far behind. We're going to start on the Friday night football. The Riverside, Middlesbrough, West Brom. Middlesbrough have won the previous 3 matches against West Brom. The last 3 matches these two have faced, Middlesbrough have won 2-0 at home. West Brom lost 1-0 to Middlesbrough at the Hawthorns, and Middlesbrough won 1-0 at the Riverside as well. So West Brom haven't beat Middlesbrough the last 2 times at the Riverside. How do you think this one fares, Rich, with Middlesbrough starting off the season quite very well?
Yeah, it was a decent point in the end for them at Preston. Obviously, they got a late goal. I see Rob Edwards was a bit critical of, if you see his interview, I think some of their fans were, when Morgan Whittaker got taken off, I think they were cheering him. And Edwards has come out and he's basically said, stop that, we're all together, which I think's, he's put his neck on the line a little bit, but I think it's easier when you're getting results. I don't know if you're going to come out and say that when, if you're struggling, if you've lost 4 or 5 games on the bounce. I was surprised at West Brom against Derby. I thought home, I think we all probably went there for a home win last weekend. I think I see a stat, Jack. Derby County touched the ball 7 times in the opposition box, and Andy Vyman touched the ball 4 times when he scored the goal. So other than that, they hardly entered their box. So it was a smash and grab. Friday night, I think Borough are probably gonna edge it. I think it'll be probably a 2-1 home victory, and Middlesbrough, I think they'll continue on because they've had a good start, haven't they?
Yeah, Steve.
Yeah, what Richard said about the Derby game is correct. Like the whole momentum of that game was West Brom. I think they had 18 shots in total, but just couldn't get it in the goal. Whereas Derby smashed it at the end. I think this will be a good game because they're both in form. I know that West Brom lost against Derby, but I still think they're in pretty good form anyway. I've gone for a 1-1 draw. I think it will be a stalemate.
I'm going to go 2-1 Middlesbrough. I'm going to go for a home win. Both teams to score. Both sides have started off reasonably well. Middlesbrough have been better of the 2 sides, but West Brom are going to want to get back to some sort of normality after that Derby defeat. So that's going to be a little blow to them, losing the fashion that they did, 1-0. So, 2-1 to the Borough. The next one is St Andrews. Birmingham taking on Swansea in the first game of the 12:30s. Let's have a look at the stats for this one. So what have we got? So Birmingham haven't lost to Swansea in their last 8 meetings. 3 wins, 5 draws. Swansea, though, haven't lost in the last 7 matches so far. I think that's in all competition. But they have scored 9 in their last 5 matches. So they're doing quite well under Alan Shearer, Swansea. But how do you sort of see this one going, Rich, at the St Andrews?
Birmingham 2 defeats now, aren't they, on the bounce? So they're looking, obviously, to put that right. What's the lad, the striker, Jack? What's his name, beginning with Z, for Swansea? He's banging in a few goals. He scored last night, didn't he? He got the first goal. Let me have a look. What was his name? His name is...
Zipotnik.
Yeah, Zipotnik.
Oh God, none of us can say it.
he's popped a few goals in, so he'll be looking to continue that. I'm going to go for a draw here. I think it's going to be, if I'm Swansea and I go to St Andrews and I take a point away, I think I'm going to be quite happy. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw.
Steve's gone 3-1. Armchair's gone 2 now. Well, no, it's another Steve, by the way. Yeah.
I've gone 1-1. I don't go 3-1. What are you talking about, Jack?
Yeah. What?
I agree with what Rich said, really. I think if they hadn't have played Forest in the week, the late draw with Hull probably would have sort of had to go at their confidence a little bit. But beating Forest in the last minute completely turns it around. So, I can see a 1-1 draw. I think it'll be a good game. Some decent attacking football from both sides, but a 1-1 draw.
I'm going to back the Jack Army in this one. 2-1 Swansea. I'll back them to win. I think they've done very well under Alan Shearer so far. Obviously, that Forest result is going to give them massive momentum going into this game. Burgess has been good for them so far, like Rich says. Evening, lads, and all. Hope you're all good. Yes, I'm good, thank you. How are you? Guys, always hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. What's the like target for this one, boys?
Oh, I think we could. What did we go for last week?
Let me have a look. Last week we got 51.
Well, I think we can go higher than that, can't we?
52.
No, I was going to go 75.
75.
Yeah, we got to be bold, haven't we?
We have.
I'll log into my several YouTube accounts.
I'm not quite sure why people don't just press the like anyway, because it's free. It's free, isn't it? I mean, you're watching this, you don't have to pay. You're getting good football knowledge. You're getting a bit of banter. So why would you not like it?
And we're all stunning. So come on, guys.
Well, exactly.
Well, the beard on Rich is like kind of stunning, isn't it? To be fair, he's got a better beard than me.
Yeah, grows very fast as well.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? You know?
I have to keep mine at a certain level because my wife doesn't like it being too big. So it's like this is it. This is it for me. It's very sad. It's very sad. I also look homeless if I grow it any longer. So yeah.
Fair enough. Right, let me get rid of the Birmingham one. So we're going to the King Power Stadium this time. The M69 derby. It is the big game. Leicester, Cov. Last time we played him at the King Power, Ken and Dewsbury double in a 2-1 win. Can we reminisce it again, Steve? I mean, this one you would say is going to be the toughest of the games we have played so far. Leicester have got to start off well in this game. Will the Foxes be up for this one?
I mean, you'd like to think so, because if they're not, then I dread to think what the score would be if we start off slow this week. It doesn't fill me with much happiness thinking about losing to Coventry, to be honest. I will be wearing my Lucky Rugkin shirt this week. We won last time I wore it, so I've got to wear it again. That's tradition now. If we win, I wear the shirt. If we lose, I chuck it in the river. I honestly think it's going to be one of those games where it could either be terrible and it was a 0-0, or it's an end-to-end game. There's tackles going in everywhere, and we nick it with a 2-1 win. So I'm going 2-1 for Leicester and hope to God that we don't get beaten by those lot, because Rich, you understand, if you get beat by Norwich, it's the worst thing that can happen to you as a football fan, right? So
definitely.
I can't stand the idea. 2-1, positive.
Well, Carvin's gone 3-1. Armchair's gone 3-2. Andrew's gone 2-0. 2-2. 2-2. I'll give you a stat here. Leicester and Coventry have not drawn any of their last 4 matches against each other. So none of them have drawn at this stage against each other. So this one, I think we can win. I bloody hope we do, to be fair. But if you can't win, don't lose. Leicester, I think home form's going to be key for us this season, to where we do end up finishing in the end. I think our home form this season is ranked 2nd in the league. We've scored 8 goals in our last 5 matches, so we are scoring goals. Swansea, bloody Coventry have scored 16 goals in their last 5 matches, by the way. Haji Wright in competitions, top scorer with 5 goals, which they feel that Haji Wright's got to step up. So
you're not giving me a lot of confidence, Jack. I'm not going to lie. These stats aren't helping with the nerves.
Right. All right then. So Leicester have beat Coventry 3 times in the last 4 in both games. So I'm going to go Leicester 2, Coventry 1.
Oh,
Rich, down to you, mate.
What time is this? A 12:30 game?
It is.
Yeah.
I always think, I think they suck the life sometimes out of the atmosphere, don't they?
Yeah.
I can understand why they obviously do it. I agree with you, Jack. You've got to make your home advantage count here. Obviously, Coventry is still unbeaten, but I think they've drawn the last 2, and they drew 2-2 with Oxford, drew last week against Norwich, so they'll be looking to get a win. I think you'll just edge it. I'm going to go for a 2-1 home win. I agree with you.
We've all gone 2-1.
Yeah.
Tyler, do you really want me to answer that one? Last time Cov beat Leicester was at Filbert Street in 2001.
Oh, yeah, because you saw the tweet about the guy that said it's a bucket list for him to beat Leicester at the King Power.
shows how much success we've had in the last years, isn't it? It's always a pleasure, as you do. We've scored in every game this season, 2-1. Yeah, I think we'll score in this one. I think for Tarwu, it's going to be a main player in this one, Jeremy Monger and Plez Arbritz. We've got to play our strongest team, though, haven't we, Steve, in this one?
Yep. Yeah, you got to hope so. I don't want to see Caleb Okoli at the back passing it out to their midfield, and because that doesn't half put us under pressure. I don't want to see, the midfield of Samare and Skip. That'll be fun if they're playing in midfield against their midfield as well. It's a battle of midfields, and if it's Samare and Skip, you might as well just wave the white flag now. So hopefully Harry Winks and JJ come in and we play all right. It'd be nice to get a win.
So say that he goes for quickly with the midfield too. Obviously, then a centre attacking mid. So say you put Jordan James as a centre attacking midfielder and then put Harry Winks in. If you had to drop either Samari or Skip, who are you dropping?
That's like picking between which cats I like the most. But in this case,
I think he'll play one of them. But he ain't going to play both.
Yeah, I think he plays Samari over Skip in this instance because he is technically a better player than Oliver Skip. It's not difficult to be a technically better player than Oliver Skip, to be honest. But
that'd be an interest.
I think Samari starts with Harry Winks and Ayew starts in the cam with Carranza up top.
Unbelievable, Ivan. Unbelievable.
Get out, Ivan. Get out. You're not welcome anymore.
I had faith in you, Ivan. I had faith. Unbelievable. I just don't know if you're clickbaiting at this point, but yeah, unbelievable, Ivan. Moving on then, Loftus Road. QPR taking on Stoke. Rich, we'll start with you with this one. What's your thoughts on this? Because Richie Kone's on form. Stoke have done very well. How do you think this one ends up?
They're a funny team, and they QPR. I mean, they go and get smashed 7 at Coventry. Then they beat Charlton at home, and then they go and beat Wrexham 3-1 away. Stoke sitting second, and they 12 points.
Yeah,
it's hard to tell really when we've only played 5 games. If we get another 5 or 6 games in, when you were in about 10, 11 games, we'll be able to tell then, are Stoke going to be here for the long haul? Because at the minute, they've had some decent results, and they're sitting there. They're where they are on merit at the minute. But when you start getting some injuries and suspensions, that's when you'll tell. But I think this game, it might be a draw. I'm going to go 2-2. I think 2-2 draw. Be a good game.
I'm going to go for a draw. I believe QPR haven't kept a clean sheet in their last 9 games. So I'm going to go 1-1.
I'm going to go for 2-1 to Stoke. I think Kone will still score. He scored 3 in 3 now, which is decent for him. Good start to the Championship, considering there were questions about whether or not he could step up to this league. But yeah, I think Stoke are the informed team, and yeah, you're right, Rich. Like as soon as they lose a couple, the atmosphere starts to change a little bit down at the Britannia. And I've been there before, where they've been on a couple. Is it still the Britannia? Or is it best 365? It's not Britannia, is it? Bet 365 now, isn't it? So, yeah, sorry, I'm just talking rubbish. Yeah, I've been at a couple of games where it sort of turned, and it's not a great place to be in Stoke anyway, let alone a football club that's not winning games. So,
I mean, who wants to be in Stoke, Steve? Come on.
Exactly. Yeah, I drive through it all the time, and I can't wait to leave. The best part of the A50 getting out of Stoke. So yeah, 2-1 win for Stoke. As much as I'm shitting on them, I still think they'll win this weekend.
Fair enough. Right. Blackburn Rovers versus Ipswich Town. The stats in this one is Blackburn have conceded the most penalties this season, 2. Ipswich have conceded the most penalties this season, 2. So they are level on penalties. Could we see a penalty for either side? I believe Blackburn have only won once in the last 5 games with Ipswich. Ipswich last time round won 1-0. Then you beat them 4-3 at your place. Blackburn won 2-0 going back to 2019. 2018, 2-2. and then 2017 3-2 Ipswich. So you've got quite a good, decent record against Blackburn. But last time, like I said, was 1-0 to you lot, Rich. What do you reckon in this one? A lot of goals.
That was on Good Friday. We went there last time, the season before last, and we beat them 1-0. We've not got a great record at Ewood. I think that was our first win there for I think over 30 years.
Wow.
And they've not won at home so far, have they? They've lost 2-1 to Birmingham at home, and then they lost 2-0 to Norwich. But look, a good win for them last Saturday away at Watford. I think they sit on 6 points because they beat Hull, didn't they? 3-0. But look, like I said before, I mean, our season's up and running now. We've got to go there, and we've just got to do the job. You know, I'm not really that worried about performances at the minute. I think it's all about getting points on the board because we've obviously had a slow start. But I think now you've got the squad settled. I was listening to McKenna today, and this is the first week that they've had everyone there. You know, all the new signings are there. Obviously, international break was last week, so he's got them all in on the grass, as they say now. That's the phrase they use, don't they? They're on the grass, and I think we're going to go there. I think we've got everybody fit apart from Wes Burns. He's obviously coming back from his ACL he had, so he's going to be a little while out. I'm going to go 2-0 Ipswich. A good professional performance and another clean sheet because now we've got the old clean sheet monkey off our back. I think it was 23 games since we kept a clean sheet. I think we're going to keep another one on Saturday and we're going to win 2-0. And I'm not sure what Craig is on about because we're not going to be losing 4-0. Who does Craig support? Is he a Norwich fan?
Who knows? I've never asked him. Craig, who do you support? Let us know in the comments. What do you reckon, Steve, for this one?
Again, Rich, we need to stop meeting like this. I've got a 2-0 win for Ipswich as well. I think as you said, you've got pretty much all your squad back. Having this week with the without having a game because of the cup, which is good, gets them on the pitch and you can, McKenna can get around and you finally introduce everyone to each other and hopefully get a bit of gelling in there. I think, look, Ipswich have one of the better squads in the league. Blackburn aren't doing great. So a 2-0 win for Ipswich.
I mean, did you see our bench? Did you see our bench on Friday night when we got players like Nunes was coming on, Smodix was coming on, the Norwegian lad. I mean, ridiculous sort of bench that we've got. But we're going to need them. He said today, McKenna, in his press conference, I think it was like the last time we went up, we were one of the teams that had scored the most goals of subs coming on. And I think that's important now. In football, it's not sometimes your starting 11, it's your finishers who come off the bench and you might be 0-0 or 1-1 and you need a goal. One of your subs comes on and he does his job. So sometimes, I know everybody wants to start a game, but I think sometimes you've got just as important job when you're coming off that bench and you can still play your part and you can still get your goal or your assist and play a big part in the result on the day.
Yeah, exactly. So 2-0 win for Ipswich.
Right, I've got Ipswich winning. Drum roll.
2-0.
Yeah, 2-0. How do you know that? Right,
I could tell just by the drum roll. I was like, oh, here it comes. It'll be 2-0.
Leicester fan for all my life. Did it to get Rich annoyed.
Not really.
That's all right. It's all right. Rich can get rattled by that. He'll be thinking about that in the back of his...
Not really. If he was a Norwich fan, I would be chuckling away.
Right, there we go. Right, Derby taking on Preston. Preston have started off really well. They sit in 8th. They've only lost one. Osmajic is doing well for them. Derby sitting 19th, 5 points. But Colton Morris is scoring the goals for Derby. How do you see this one going at Pride Park, Rich?
They need a home win, don't they? They've not won at home. That was obviously their first win, wasn't it, away at West Brom last week. Look, if you're a Derby fan going to the Hawthorns last weekend, I think you'd have snapped their hands off for a point. I mean, to come out of that ground, that was a real late winner, wasn't it, as well, from Andy Vyman. I mean, you're going to be thinking we can back it up now at home to Preston. But Preston has started well. But I think Preston, Jack, they're more at home, I think, is where they're going to probably pick up the majority of their points. I think away from home, I think they're going to find it a little bit more of a struggle. I don't think this will be a great watch. I'm going to go for a 1-0 Derby win.
Oh, yeah. So the last 19 meetings between these two in all competition, Derby have won 11, drawn 5, and Preston have won 3 times. Steve, what's your thoughts on this one at Pride Park?
Right, I think you need to come to me first, Jack, because it's not fair that Rich keeps getting all my scores. It's just really not fair. He gets all the talking points and he gets the score as well. This is ridiculous. I agree. Preston seem to be better at home than away, and Derby really do need some points on the board and a home win to sort of boost to that confidence. So, yeah, a 1-0 win for Derby. It'll be a tight game. I don't think Preston hold much threat, to be honest, but it'll be one of those where, it could even be like a late winner again that we say. But, yeah, 1-0 Derby. Jackie, you got 1-0 as well?
No, I haven't. Right. I'm going for a 1-1.
Oh, okay.
1-1 draw. I did have 1-1 last week for West Brom Derby, but then obviously someone said 125 years ago the score between West Brom and Derby were actually 1-0 to Derby. 125 years on the beat, West Brom again 1-0. So I'm like, it bloody annoyed me because bloody Hull had scored later on. I could have got the result for that one, 2-1 Swansea. But I just hope that don't happen.
Hang on, what is that, Steve? You know what that is? It's the world's smallest violin.
We're kicking him off. We're getting someone else to replace him.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda, Jack. Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Could have, yeah. If buts and maybes, it don't matter. But we're going to the, what's it called? The MKM Stadium. Hull City taking on Southampton. What's your thoughts on this one, Steve?
Oh, cool. Come to me this time. Great. The Southampton Portsmouth game was a bit of a damp squib, wasn't it? It wasn't a great game of football. And where how are they getting on now, Southampton? Let me just
Southampton are 15th.
15th. So not a great start under Will still, have they? Let's be honest. Only 1 win, 3 draws and a defeat. So
well, 20th, by the way.
I feel like, but again, it's that sort of situation with like Ipswich and Leicester. They've had a lot of players come in and go out, and they've had a couple of weeks now to train with the lads, and I don't think they played at all. They didn't play yesterday or this week. So, having all the squad back, it could do them some favours. I've gone for a 2-1 Southampton win. I think they'll just nick it.
Interesting. What
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. He's stolen my score. I agree with you there about like you need time now, especially these like the teams that have come down from the Premier League. I think they've obviously lost some players like we did Southampton. I think now they've had a week's training. I watched the game last Sunday. I mean, sometimes these derbies they build them right up, don't they? And they never really ever. Well, sometimes they do, but 9 times out of 10. They're not very good watches, are they? And I thought they were really, really poor last Sunday. Maybe Portsmouth with a little bit more quality could have beaten them, But I thought a draw was fair. What I have sort of realised, I'm not a massive fan of Will still. I think he's a bit of a knob. He just comes across. I don't like him. I just don't like him. I don't know why. There's just something there that I just don't really. I'm not sure what he was doing with the handshake as well. It was a little bit like when Conte and who was that? Oh, it was Thomas Tuchel, wasn't it? When they shook hands when it was Chelsea Spurs, and I thought
like a Wenger Mourinho type situation.
Yeah, so I'm not a massive fan of his, but I think Southampton will edge it 2-1.
I'm gonna go Hull City 0, Southampton 2. Moving on to the next one at Carrow Road. What do we reckon with this one? Wrexham, if they don't win, I think probably Phil Parkinson's gone, to be fair. Josh Sargent went missing last week. Will he return to form this week? Rich, we're going to come to you for this one first. How do you think Norwich fare in this one against Wrexham?
Well, if I'm Josh Sargent, I'm rubbing my hands together at the prospect of coming up against Wrexham's defence and Connor Cody, because, like I said, that goal I see last week, the third of QPR's, I mean, blimey, he gave the guy about a 5-yard head start, and he just literally raced past him. They're conceding a lot of goals, Wrexham, and until they sort that out, I think they're going to struggle. Norwich at home, not won so far. I think they've lost both home games, but I think they'll get their first home win. I'm going to go for a 3-1 Norwich win, and I think Sargent might get a couple.
Parkinson's won't be gone until they completely tank and get one win out of the next 10. Well, it depends how long you can bloody go on with Connor Cody at the back. I know Danny Ward's injured, but Connor Cody, wow, okay. 4-2, Ben Sheaf, Kabore, Hyam, likely to make their first starts. 4-1, loving the cheers, Rich legend. 3-0. I'm going to go before Steve with this one, so I'm going to go 2-0 Norwich.
Okay, I've gone 4-0 Norwich.
Okay.
I think Josh Hodge could get a hat trick in this one, especially if Connor Cody turns up like he did last week. Like, genuinely, £2 million. Give John Rudkin a knighthood, because how did we get that amount of money for that Connor Cody? Jesus Christ.
70 grand a week, remember?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And he was almost starting for us in sort of captain when Chowdhury wasn't on the pitch. So that would have been depressing. Norwich are strong at home. Wrexham are quite poor. I think it'll be a whitewash.
Interesting. The next one is Fratton Park. Portsmouth taking on Sheffield Wednesday. Pompey have kept the most clean sheets in the competition, 3 this season. Andrew Segasic has created the most big chances for Portsmouth. Sheffield Wednesday haven't lost to Portsmouth in their last 6 meetings, winning 3, drawing 3, but they haven't scored in the last 3 matches, Sheffield Wednesday. So how do you feel about this one, Steve? Portsmouth versus Wednesday.
I feel sorry for Sheffield Wednesday, because it seems like every week they're just going to get battered. I know they got the draw against Wrexham, but then again, it's Wrexham, so it's not really anything you can sort of shout home about. 2 defeats in a row. They've not scored in 2 games. They've only scored in 2 games as well this season, so it's not great. And I think it's only going to get worse. I've gone for a 1-0 Portsmouth win, because Pompey at home are pretty decent, and Sheffield Wednesday don't travel well, and also don't seem to play well at home either. So.
When you sort of use the phrase, it can't get any worse for Sheffield Wednesday. I thought you were expecting them to get an hammering this weekend, but
look, there's one positive with Sheffield Wednesday at the moment, and that is that they're above Sheffield United. That is it. There's nothing else you can say is a positive for them.
3-0 Pompey. I'm gonna go 2-0 Pompey. I think they've got a real enough to get past Sheffield Wednesday. I think everyone else has so far this season, well apart from Wrexham. So, I'm going to stick with the home win. What about you, Rich, for this one?
Did you boys watch the game on Sunday, the derby? Did you see the Portsmouth goal to get injured?
Yeah, then it looked like his brother had come on. That's
what I was going to say. It's like his clone who came on, wasn't it? He was like looking in the mirror. I'm thinking,
they had the same hair and everything. I was like,
exactly. They had the same hair. Just bizarre. Yeah, Pompey at home, strong. They've had a decent start to the season, haven't they, really, under Mousinho? Yeah. Sheffield Wednesday, I mean, they lost in the week to Grimsby, didn't they, in the Cup? It must be a nightmare supporting them this season. You just want to have a club at the end of the season. That's probably... I don't know if there's any... Is Chansiri going to go? I don't think he will. It's just a bit of a nightmare. I'll go 2-0 Portsmouth. I'll go the same score as Jack.
Lovely stuff. On to Bramall Lane. The return of Chris Wilder. They can't keep meeting like this, can they? Sheffield United and Chris Wilder, but they would move. Sheffield United, Charlton. Sheffield United haven't won a match in the last 7. Charlton haven't won a match in their last 5. Haven't scored in their last 4 of Sheffield United, and Charlton have scored 3 goals in their last 5. How do you think this one goes for Chris Wilder, Steve, in his debut again?
Yeah, I think they'll have a bounce back. Obviously Sellers wasn't working. I don't think the players quite liked or gelled with his system. But, Wilder is that sort of, he's like coming home and putting a warm sort of blanket on, isn't he, for Sheffield United? So I think they'll turn it around. I think they'll win 2-1. I think, the ground will be popping again with him coming back. So he'll get a good reception.
What did the Pompey goalkeeper do to himself? Well, he come running at the defender, left a big bloody egg on the defender's head. Absolutely took him out.
Well, Mousinho wasn't very happy because he thought Tom Fellows would give the defender a little shove into his goalie. But what I would say, if I was replying to that question to Mousinho, what was your goalkeeper doing about 40 yards out of your goal?
It reminded me of Stolarczyk coming out against Preston. What do you reckon Richard Bramall led?
It's a weird one, isn't it, really? Because if you're a Sheffield United fan, you've lost every single game so far this season, but you're going to be really positive going into that game. Mm-hmm. Look, Friday night, when I was going to the game and I see Hamer was on the bench and Tyrese Campbell, I thought, wow. I mean, that's a manager, last chance saloon, I think, sort of shuffling his pack, trying to get a result. And obviously, look, it didn't work. Wilder going back, did it surprise me? Maybe a little bit. I don't think, like you said earlier, Jack, you can't keep going back. But then I probably wouldn't have sacked him anyway in the first place because, what did they finish on? 92 points last season. It was only that mad 3-game spell, I think, around Easter time where they lost to, Plymouth, Oxford, and I think, was it Millwall? That was probably what cost them promotion. So I know that they tried to go in a little bit of a different direction. It clearly hasn't worked, has it? No. And I agree with Steve. It's like putting on your comfortable pair of slippers, isn't it, when you come home from work with Chris Wilder? You know what you're going to get. Did you know, boys, this game, there's 2 Tyrese Campbells playing in this game.
Wow. So
you can't chant there's only one Tyrese Campbell because there's not on Saturday because there's 2. One playing for each side. Yeah, Blades at home. I think it'll be probably near a sellout, I'd have thought. If I'm a Charlton fan, I'm probably thinking, why couldn't they just waited just another week? Let us go there. We could get a result. I think Sheffield United nailed on this Saturday to get a win. I think I'll go 2-0.
I'm going to go 2-1 Sheffield United. I think Charlton score. So, yeah, I think Charlton will make it quite interesting for Chris Wilder's side this weekend. But the thing is, that magic isn't going to happen overnight with Chris Wilder going back to Sheffield United, is it? The poor run that they've been on. Gus Harmer just doesn't look fit at all at the minute. So,
oh, my God. When he came trotting by us on, because I was sitting near the away dugout. Right. When he came trotting by on Friday night, he'd gone down in the corner to warm up. And when he came back, we were all shouted out, do you fancy a kebab, Gus? And he's just grinning at us and laughing. I'm thinking, you look like you're about a stone overweight. I don't think he is because I think it's his build because he's quite stocky. It doesn't help that he wears them real long shorts and he's got his socks pulled up as well. So it looks as though he's got really stubby little legs. But, he's their main player, isn't he? He should be in the team. He was obviously, he was championship player of the season last season. It's an interesting one because I see they were saying, is he going to be captain? Wilder didn't really say if he was or not. But if you get him firing, I think the Blades will shoot up the table. I've got no doubt under Wilder. He knows what to do. You've only got to see, I don't know if you boys see the video when he's meeting all the players again. They all look happy, don't they? They didn't look happy. They didn't look happy under Sellers. And for me, that game on Friday night, it's not about the defeat for me. It's how you lose. Yeah. When you literally
give up.
Yeah, give up from 2-0. Yeah. Ben Godfrey, we had him on loan, Jack, and he played for Sheffield United. He was absolutely dreadful on Friday. Awful. But they've got some good players. If you look across their team, they've got some good players, Sheffield United. So I'd expect them to pick up now.
Cooper had a terrible game on Friday as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
Like, and I rate Cooper quite highly. I think he's a decent keeper, but through his legs was not great, was it? Let's be honest.
That was great. What a goal that was! I think you see the shock on his face when it went in. He even thought, "Blimey, what's going on there?" It was like literally a pea roller, wasn't it?
I know one player that's not happy. Tom Cannon, probably. Yeah.
I mean, he's another player. I'll see it on Friday. How much did they pay for him?
10 million. £10 million. It would have been an extra $3 million if they'd got the Premier League.
I think he scored 1 goal for them. That's it. Crap.
Sheffield United want him gone.
Terrible.
He's another one of them players, isn't he? You know, they're just not doing it, and you just want rid, but you can't get rid of them because they're either paying them too much or teams don't want to pay.
I think Wilder's saying, Jack, I think he's got a squad of 29. There's 29 players there, so they've obviously in January he's going to have to move several out.
Lovely stuff. On to Bristol City versus Oxford then. Bristol City have been fantastic so far. Where are they in the table? They're third, 11 points, and 3 wins, 2 draws. Oxford, on the other hand, are 22nd with 2 points. Thanks for getting them a point, Leicester. What do you reckon in this one? Obviously, Oxford haven't won a match in their last 5. Bristol City have got an average 2.4 goals per match so far this season. So how do you think this one will go, Steve, at Ashton Gate?
A bit like Sheffield Wednesday for Oxford. That is, I just think that quality-wise, they're just not at the level compared to other teams. They did it right against us, but we sort of shot ourselves in the foot, to be honest. So, if it was 10 men on the pitch, we were going into the game, we probably could have beat them on Saturday. But look, as I said, draws a decent result anyway. Bristol City have started really well, and I'm really impressed with how they were, because when they lose the manager to Norwich, you think, are they going to fall back down? But actually, they've grown and okay, with 5 games in, but they've scored 12 goals so far this season. That's no mean feat. So I've gone for a 2-1 Bristol win. There's not going to be many games now up until sort of April or May that Bristol will be a nice place to go, because it's fucking cold down there at this time of year, going into sort of October and November. So a nice little sunny day for Bristol and a 2-1 win.
I'm going 2-0 Bristol City, clean sheet. Rich?
Yeah, I'm with you, Jack. I'm going to go 2-0. I think they've just got to harvest them points while they're there. I mean, they're third in the league at the minute, Oxford at home. But we don't know, do we? This is the beauty of the Championship. We're all predicting a home win. It wouldn't surprise me if Oxford went there and turned them over. I'm not going to go for an Oxford win, but that's just what happens in this league. But yeah, they've had a very good start under Struber. He's the Bristol City Tony Pulis. I think he wears all the gear, then he's got the cap on. He's got the jacket on. But Scott Twines, he's playing well for them. Is it Mamete, the lad they signed from Wickham? He's decent, and yeah, I can't see Oxford getting anything out of this. I think it's going to be a long, hard season for Gary Rowett.
Yeah. The last one is the Den, the Monday night football. Millwall taking on Watford. Millwall and Watford have not drawn any of their last 3 matches against each other. Watford haven't kept a clean sheet in their last 6, but they've scored 6 goals in their last 5. Millwall have scored 5 goals in their last 5. So there is goals between both sides, but there's been no draw in the last 3. For me, I reckon this got a draw nailed all over it for the Monday night football. I'm gonna go 1-1.
I've gone 0-0.
Rich, 2-2.
Blimey. I mean, this is not one that you're going to tune into. It might be, if you're struggling to sleep, maybe pop this on. And you'll get off. You'll get off lovely. Oh my lord. I'm going to go for a home win. Okay. Did you like Watford's kit that they wore last weekend? It was a one-off. Yeah, one-off special, wasn't it? I mean, look, I like me kits, but I'm not quite sure nowadays. When you're playing at home, you should be wearing your home colours, shouldn't you? Really, I'm not one for. We done that when we were in League One. We wore a black number, inspired by Ed Sheeran. I think we only wore it twice that season.
He's got number 17 on here, Rich. It's Ipswich.
He's been number 17 for about the last 4 seasons, but I've got no idea what he brings to the party, Jack. Is he a 10?
Great music.
Is he a holding midfielder? You know, can he get up and down? I've actually seen some of his skills. He done a video and he was trying to play football. Absolutely terrible. Ed, you can sing your football skills. Nah.
Fair enough. So
but I'm gonna go for it's gonna be a thriller at the Den. It's gonna be a 1-0 home win.
Lovely stuff. That is it from us then. Let's see who comes out on top this week then. Will it be Rich? Will it be myself? Or will it be Steve? Only time's going to tell. Hopefully the boys will be hoping to pick up after last week's mare that they had.
Listen to him. Him giving it a big and Steve. He's got one right. It was one more than me and you.
Hey, one's more than you two from last week.
That's very true. That's very true.
Let the king have his chair for now, and you could probably claim it back next week. So,
well, maybe
we'll see. But cheers, boys, for coming on. Rich, what's happening at Suffolk Crunch, mate?
Match preview tonight of the game at Blackburn. I'm looking forward to going up there on when is it? Saturday. Making my way up to the northwest. I always like going up there when the weather's decent. You know, it's going to be. I don't think there's going to be any rain. Yeah. So I think I'm not quite sure we sold out, but we take probably over 3,000 up there. So travelling in good numbers. We'll give Todd Cantwell a bit of stick. Obviously, he plays for Blackburn now, ex-Norwich. I mean, how he was a very good player at Norwich, and then he sort of went off the radar, went to Rangers, didn't he? And now he's playing at Blackburn. So, go and see the Venkies. 2-0 Town, come on.
2-0. Rich, thanks for coming on, mate. Appreciate it.
See you all next week. Hope you get a big fat 0, Jack, by the way.
That's all right.
we can give you some stick next week.
Let's kick him off. Right, we're not having that. Steve, we've got the match preview. The M69 Derby match preview at 8:30. That one should be a tasty one. I've got 2 Coventry fans. I've sent them the link. Whether they turn up and they're good for purpose is another thing, or are they too scared? Big game the weekend. Leicester Coventry. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a tense sort of watch, but it's going to be
just not fair, Jack. It's just not fair.
Well, it's their bucket list game, isn't it? But we'll see what happens. But no, Steve, I will see you at 8:30 for the match preview.
Perfect. See you later.
See you later. That is it from us then. Thanks for watching the Championship Predictions Week 6. Let us know your predictions for the weekend's games as well. If you're just on playback, hit a like button on the stream. Subscribe to the channel if you know and you haven't subscribed already. Please get down and do so. It'll help us out massively. And we will catch you again soon for the match preview. It's Leicester take on Coventry in the M69 Derby. Come on, the Foxes!